Hello YouTube and welcome to Stellaris. Before we get started, I would like to say there is going to be a giveaway for a copy of Stellaris. No DLC included, unfortunately. This is because I already own this game and I'm getting another key in the Humble Monthly. So I'm going to give away that Humble Monthly key to some lucky person. Now, here are the requirements to enter this giveaway. 1, you have to be a subscriber to the channel. 2, you must like this video. And 3rd, you must, on this video, go down to the comment section below, comment your favorite science fiction TV show. It can be any science fiction TV show, even if I've never heard of it, but it does have to be real, and I will check. I will also check to see if you're a subscriber, and I will check to see if you've liked the video. I think you can do that. If not, well, forget that one part. But anyways, that's how you enter the giveaway. I will be doing that giveaway as soon as this month's Humble Monthly releases, or next month's Humble Monthly releases, technically speaking. So yeah, if you want to enter the giveaway, make sure you do those 3 things, and I will select the lucky winner in like 2 weeks-ish. It's probably like a week and a half, actually. But anyways, on with the video. Hello YouTube, and welcome to Random Asian Productions. Before we continue with the video, I would like to show you, go to humblebundle.com, as noted up there. Then go to the monthly tab, as seen right there. I just clicked on it again. It will load into this page, which you will see even if you're not logged in. This is going to be the Humble Monthly page. Now, right now, this is approximately over $100 worth of games for $12. But right now, the primary game you will get for sure with for $12 is Stellaris. This offer runs out 17 days, 13 hours, 49 minutes, and 21 seconds. Okay, 18 seconds. You get the point. Now, you may not be sure, is Stellaris really worth $12? Well, if you want the short answer, yes. If you like large-scale strategy games that takes place in what you could consider a galactic scale, where you manage an empire as well as build a fleet and fight enemies, or even choose a more diplomatic, peaceful option where you unify the galaxy against common threats, Stellaris is the game for you. But maybe you want a longer answer, something more definable. Continue watching the video, and I'm going to give you the idea of what this game is. So here I am going to prove to you that Stellaris is totally worth the $12 if you like RTS games, you like empire management games, you like science fiction space games, or if you like 4X strategy games. So here we go. So we're going to start a new game, first off. Now here's the first thing I'm going to talk about. This is my own personal little group I made. It's kind of based off the Call of Duty thing, because reasons. These are all the factions that are come standard that you can play as. You got the United Nations of Earth, Commonwealth of Man, which is basically kind of like the evil version of Earth, more or less. This is kind of like supposed to be the good guys, and then this is kind of like they're terrible. This is just one of the aliens, more aliens, 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 more aliens, aliens, and aliens. But anyways, all of these factions can't actually appear in the game, so that's something you need to know. But you can create your own factions by going into either the random up here, so you can just select a random faction. You can create a new faction, or you can edit an existing faction. We're going to create our own faction for this game. So in this case, we are going with a humanoid faction because I like being human. You get to choose your symbol. You got all the different kinds. You got blocky, domination. Oh, there's a heart. That's adorable. We're not going to go with that, though. We're going to go with that because that looks pretty freaking awesome. We're going to make that background kind of green. You can choose what the background looks like. You see, again, they had that, all these weird ones. I think that one looks actually pretty good. We're going to go with red because we're going to be a kind of evil empire. We're going to go with energy weapons, which are strong. Actually, let me see. These are, you can see you can choose your weapons. So these are like rail guns. You got missiles and you got energy weapons. Missiles have really good range, but they can get intercepted. Energy weapons are they're lasers. They're really good against armor, and projectile weapons are actually really good against shields. So we're going to go with lasers because we're gonna get all up in the enemy's face. Now you can choose your type of space travel. So you've got warp travel, hyperspace travel, and wormhole travel. Basically, warp travel, much like the sci-fi series Star Trek, it's warp travel. You can go between any planet at any time, anywhere. There's no lines, nothing. You can just go any place, but it's kind of slow. Then hyperspace is similar to the warp travel, except you have to go down specific hyperlanes between planets, which means that if the enemy is using hyperspace travel, you can actually bottleneck travel routes very heavily. Warp travel is more universal, hence why it says new players, because you can just go any place. Hyperspace is kind of like an intermediate, because you can kind of go everywhere, but there are some slight restrictions. And then wormhole travel is the most complicated, which I'm going to show you because I think it's the most interesting. The wormhole's for advanced players because you can only jump from a wormhole station, which you have to build on planets. Okay, this is very specific. You can only jump using a wormhole station. So it's really cool, but it's very difficult to play as. So we're going to do that because that's more interesting. So then you can choose the type of ship you have. You've got the anthropoid, avian, mollusk, fungoids. There could be a bigger selection, I think, would be kind of cool. There are mods, by the way. Mods, fully supported mods and workshop on this game, so you can probably get all kinds of different design ships. They got Star Wars, Star Trek, all that stuff. For the sake of this video, we are going to go with... Let's just go with the mammalian ships. Those are standard human ships, so now we can choose a name for our species. We're gonna go with the generic. We're gonna go human. Well, let's try spelling it right first. Human. Whoa. Yeah, humanoid. Oh, we skipped it. Go back up. Go back. Species name. There we go. And then you can choose humans. And then adjective. Human. Actually, let's make a. I got this. Let's make a Stargate reference. Tari. I think that's a universally plural. I'm not sure. We're just going to call ourselves the Tari, which is a Stargate reference, for those of you who don't know. Biography. Descendants of an ancient, powerful civilization. I can't spell, so there you go. There's our backstory. So now you can choose the prefix of your ship. Now we're going to go with the USS because why not? And then you can choose the names of your ships. So like these are the leader names and these are the names of planets. So you see you've got some very, very strange names. These are the humanoid names. I'm not quite sure which one's more normal. So, you know, just roll with whatever you think looks the best, I guess. I'm going to go with this one, just because it kind of looks normal. It's hard to say. To be honest, none of these sound all that normal. Let's go with that one, because that has the most normal ship names, I guess. So, boom. Now you get to choose your traits. So, these are all traits you can pick. You start off with the ability to pick. You have 2 points and 5 picks. So, basically, I can pick anything with 2 points. And then I have 5 things I can pick in general. So, for instance, let's say our species is intelligent. Our species is intelligent. Now, you see I have 0 points. So now, if I want other stuff, I would have to go down and select a negative trait. So, for instance, humans are slow breeders. That gives me a point. Slow learners. I'm not going to choose that one. That one sounds pretty bad. Weak. That makes our ground troops really weak, I think. Yeah, so we don't want to worry about that. Sedimentary, solitary. Yeah, sedentary sounds kind of thing. Humans would be very reluctant to leave their environment, things like that. Basically, you can do whatever you want here. You can basically do, and you can see there are traits you can't choose, like rapid rate nomadic, which are obviously the opposites of that. You can't choose those kind of things. We're going to go with quick learners and talented. And then those are my 5 things. So we are intelligent, quick learners, talented, and you can see we have slow breeders. So what this does, leader skills +1. Leadership experience gain plus 25%, and then this is all of our research is increased. Now see, these all have bonuses, which I didn't even bother to read, but you know, you get the idea. So that's that part. Then you go here. Now you can choose your starting ruler. This is this ruler, so that's her right there right now. So you can either choose to make a male or female. We're gonna go with a girl because that sounds interesting. Random name Zunwan. Ruler title female. Heir title female. Ruler title. General. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter all that much, I suppose. Oops, skipped it again. Go back. Okay, so general. Because I don't know that. No, that's stupid. Don't make ruler title female. I don't know. Ruler. Let's call him a ruler. No. President. There you go. Phenotype. You can choose what they look like. It's we're gonna go with her. Gonna go with let's go with that hairstyle. Choose her clothes, which in our case we're gonna go with kind of a military look because we're gonna be kind of offensive. We have different rooms. We're gonna go with that one. That looks pretty good. Now we move on. Now we can choose our home world, which we're gonna call Earth. Star name, Sol. Starting solar system. Sol system. Oh, we'll see. There you go. Solar system. It's modeled after Earth's solar system. Makes sense. Obviously, you can do random. You can choose what kind of planet it is. In our case, we're a continental world. Makes sense. And then you can choose what the city's going to look like. You got all the choices between things. We're going to go with mammalian. It's a lot of customization, guys. A lot of freaking customization. So these are civic points. So now you can basically choose civical things. So, like, this is government-related things, which, you know, can be alright. Now, these ones I can't get due to the traits I chose earlier. So we have this sort of, like, functional architecture. Go with that one. Let's see. Efficient bureaucracy, +2 core systems. That's actually kind of helpful. So we're going to roll with that one. What that means is basic core systems is how many planets you can have in the core of your planet, which is very helpful. So now you can choose your authorities. We've got democratic, oligarchy, dictatorial, imperial, and hive mind. We can't choose hive mind because you needed that as an ethic. Basically, that's like bug mind. Everyone's like, you know, we're all one. The imperial, upon ruler death, a designated successor becomes the new ruler. Dictator, hold an election upon ruler death to select a new ruler. Oligarch, hold an election every 40 to 50 years to select a new ruler. And then there's a democracy. We're going to go with an imperial because we're going to be quite mean. We're going to be a very offensive kind this time. Now then, of course, you have here. You have ethic points left. So we got 3, so we can choose 3 of these. So, obviously, you would have to choose the hive-minded one here if you wanted to do that, but we didn't check it. So, we're going to be militaristic, because that makes sense. Authoritarian, that makes sense. We're not going to be xenophiles means that you'd have no problems with other species, which we're not going to be. We're not going to be xenophobes either, because that's just mean. And we're not going to be pacifists. That's just silly. You can be fanatics. So, like, we're going to be fanatic militarists, actually, and that'll take all our ethic points. Basically, we have increased army damage and fire rates. So, that's helpful. So, boom. Empire name. I don't know what to call us. I don't know. Well, our species name is the Tari. So, Tari Collective. Adjective. The Collective. Sounds like the Borg. That's okay, though. This is our flag, so that's our flag there, which is our appearance. Starting weapons went with energy weapons, FTL, and we chose that. So, boom, this is the faction that we've now created. Now, I can save that. I've saved the Tari Collective. So, this is the Tari Collective, which I have now saved. So, now you can play as this faction whenever you wanted. So, now you can click Done, and we've selected that race. Now, this is where you choose things. Now, you can see here, this is huge. You can do, the minimum you can play is with 150 stars. Yes, stars. So this is an entire galaxy you're playing in. So I always play on the maximum because I'm like that. I usually do elliptical because it's the most simplistic. Empires, maxed out. Advanced Empire starts means how many AI are going to start really advanced. We're going to actually do 10 of those 30 are going to be significantly higher tech than us. Fallen empires are really super powered empires that have been around for a while. Habitable worlds, 1 times 1, so that means there are going to be fewer actually habitable worlds in this 1,000-star universe. AI, I've set the AI to be actually very aggressive. They did just put up a patch that actually fixed something where the AI weren't attacking, so they fixed that. Now, you can actually choose to only allow one form of FTL travel. Now, in my case, I'm not going to do that. But, like, first, say, if you wanted to use only hyperdrives, which means you would only be able to go down specific hyperlanes, may make your game easier because you could just, like, lock down certain planets and force enemies into choke points, which could be very helpful. But when you're playing with everything, that's it becomes a little more difficult to do. We're going to do normal difficulty, empire placement, clusters, or random. We're going to do random. That means, who knows. Advanced neighbors means AI will start advanced. Endgame crisis, really bad things can happen. And then there's iron mode, which means no saving and stuff like that, which we're not going to use. So let's go. Okay, here we are. So, the Tari Collective. In the eons since the first primitive Tari communities took shape in the meadows and forests of Earth, our civilization has spread and prospered. Technological progress has been swift, but as our members grew, the civilian population became increasingly restless. With our world on the brink of anarchy, the military stepped in to restore the rule of law. A new order was established to safeguard our nation from all threats, both external and internal. Now, after the successful creation of artificial subspace wormholes, the finest minds of the Tari Collective have finished construction of the first wormhole station at the edge of our system. The stars themselves are finally within our grasp. So, whoa. So you can use Wasad to move around. Now the game stays paused and doesn't actually move, as you can see in the top right corner. Doesn't actually progress until you hit space, and then it starts moving. So we're going to leave that paused. This is your wormhole station right here. This lovely thing right there. Oh yeah. So this wormhole station is how you guys get around. Now I believe that can be blown up, which would be unfortunate. So all of your ships will use that to travel. So here's your starting little group. You've got some Corvettes. These are the cheapest, crappiest, tiny ships you can get. This is your space station, which is basically just here to look badass and awesome. This is your science ship, which actually we're going to send out to explore the world. So we're going to actually, what we're going to do is you're going to go to the galactic map, which on the bottom of the screen, where it says pause, to the right of the Sol System is galaxy map. You can hit that, or you can hit M. That's the galaxy. That's the Tari Collective. That's the galaxy. Get the point? It's huge. This game is huge. So this is our wormhole jump area right here. Not that second. That's our ruling space. This is our wormhole jump area. That orange circle. So my goal is to try and conquer everything in the circle. Actually, that's a yellow circle. The same difference. So that's my goal, is to conquer everything in that system. So now, with the science ship selected, don't unselect it though, because that's just silly. On the right there, you'll notice you've got like all this stuff. By the way, I think I have one mod installed which resets all of the UI for 1080p, so it may look a little different for you when you first install the game. But this is what it should generally look like. The science ship here, the USS Vagabond, which I think is a rather amusing name, is also an Asperity class, which I will show you what that means in a second. Shut up, phone. So now, if you right-click on these systems, you can survey the systems. Now, if you hold Shift and click on other systems to survey, you can actually task multiple systems to explore. And I'm actually going to task my ship with exploring all the systems inside the range. Now, you'll notice that these aren't attaching to each other and going off of one another. It's just lines off of my home system. That's because... Oh, I think we're out. Yeah, that's the maximum I can queue up. Basically, every time it goes out, like if it goes out to Puerto or whatever you say, it has to go back and then back out because we've only got one wormhole station. Now later, if we plan to expand in one particular direction, we can put another wormhole station over here at the edge of our system somewhere, and it'll make another circle and we can jump out that way. So you can see how this would be a very interesting way to play the game. Now here's Earth. That's the space supports tab where you build all your ships. You can upgrade as well, but we're not going to worry about that right now. It's got the first strike force, which is, of course, our military team. You can have ground armies. We have 5 defensive armies currently stationed on the planet. Surface-wise, this is what the planet's surface looks like. So you can build individual plots on here. So like here, I can build any of this stuff. Now, I advise early on all of these physics and society researches, build basic science labs, because it'll help you. Apparently we have slaves, which is unfortunate. I don't really like having slaves, but this is a little bit different than I usually play. I usually play as a good guy empire, but I'm showing you the gist of, you can kind of make whatever you want in this game. So we're playing as a bit of an imperial faction now, so we're going to be real aggressive and kind of evil, and people probably won't like us very much. But that's okay. On a side note, though, you can change it. If you go to policies up here, under the More tab, there's a Policies tab. This game is... I'm not going to show you everything about this game, because this fucking game is complicated as shit. This game has all kinds of stuff. You know, you've got research you can select. So in this case, what kind of research? We can research blue lasers, which are more powerful than red lasers. I don't know what the difference is, but we're going to research that because we're militaristic. We're going to go with orbital hydroponic farming and army damage, because we're probably going to be kind of offensive, so we might need military ground forces. Now, as I was saying here, this is sort of what you've got here. These are plot things that hold plot land that you can't build on now. You have to clear them first. In our case, all of these can be cleared. Some planets have some you can't clear. This is the general information about your planet. This is our current governor, Anika Chandran. So now, if you go up here, you can select on this tab up here, which is the More tab. You got planets and sectors, which just shows you all your planets. It also, you know, all that kind of good stuff. But then you can do policies and edicts. Now here you can see we have unrestricted war. Food stockpile is set to minimal. I always change that to balanced at the start, just because I think only stockpiling like 200 food or whatever the limit is when you have that is not enough. Now you're allowed to change your choice on bombardment, so you can go from full, like just obliterate the planet, just glass the surface of the planet, to let's just kind of shoot a couple things here and there to try and, you know, damage some stuff. Resettlement, basically forcing people to move between planets. You can allow that. First contact is aggressive in our situation instead of peaceful. Slavery is allowed, but you can ban it. You can ban slavery if you like. Purge, displacement only. You can see we can also allowed, but you need those specific things. You need hive mind, xenophobe, fanatic, xenophobe in order to purge things. Prohibited, you can prohibit purging things. And these are edicts that you can actually run. Basically, these sort of things take up influence, which is up here, which you get by like doing all kinds of things, building frontier outposts and stuff, dealing with factions, all those kind of things. Use this, and you get this by declaring empires as your rivals and stuff like that. Now, of course, as of the moment, we don't have any rivals because no one exists as far as my empire is concerned. Also, you'll notice we have a lot of plants in this system. Now, I don't think most of them will be colonizable. Let's just get the game ticking a little bit. While the game slowly ticks, he's just going to be scouting. Up here in the right hand, you can, as you can see, you can do the pause, or you can just click that button. These here, or you can use the plus and minus on your keyboard.
Anomaly found.
Oh, hold on 1 second before we can do that. We found an anomaly on Luna. Basically, what this means is you can hit research and your person will investigate, which we are going to do. What's this? New heir. Crown Prince Ganwan is a new heir to our empire and will take the throne when our current ruler dies. Okay, cool. As I was saying, if you use the plus or minus keys or simply hit these buttons, you can change it from normal to fast to fastest, so time goes by really fast. Late game, you will probably be playing it in fastest and just pausing it a whole lot is what I end up doing throughout the game. But we're going to keep it on normal because I'm explaining some stuff. Now, in here, there's also a tab for ship design, which is another really cool part of this game. You can design your own ships. We're uncertain how it happened, but somehow the ship's science officer inadvertently triggered a self-destruct sequence on the USS Vagabond while running a... Oh, dear. Okay, so... Yeah, okay. Okay, so what happened is we tried to research an anomaly on Luna, and what happened was my science ship somehow blew itself up. That's actually never happened to me before, but that's okay. We can just build another ship. And under leaders here, the leaders tab, you can recruit generals, admirals, scientists, and governors. For this particular thing, you'll need a new scientist. They all have traits. We're going to look for any good traits. Nah, they all kind of suck. Okay, let's go with someone who's young, because then they won't die as soon. So we'll just wait until our ship is built. Let that tick along. You can see, if you click on Earth, in the spaceport section, you can see our ship is being built. It's going to take 54 days to be built, so we're going to just have to wait 54 days. And this is where our leader died. But what was I saying a second ago? I don't think... Oh, yes, we were talking about ship design. So you can customize your ship designs. Anything. You can customize your corvettes, your construction ships, your colony ships, science ships, transport ships, and defense platforms, which are platforms you can build. This is the starting defense platform that you can build. There are other models that you can build that are much, much bigger than this. This is just your standard defensive station that you can build in a system. And it actually, if you see here, subspace snare, it basically disables FTL, and it makes all ships have to attack this station, which means if an enemy fleet tries to attack your system, they'll be forced to engage this station. Now, this station isn't all that strong, but it's a good start. Now, and for most part, you won't want to... Yes, thank you. You won't want to do much customization to these kind of ships initially, mainly because initially there isn't really a whole lot to change, because all they are is ship radars, you've got science labs, and then their jump method. In this case, since we use FTL, it is completely pointless because we will never have another kind of FTL. But some ships can get upgrades and things like that. So this section here needs to be added a little bit, but we don't have anything really researched yet. But eventually we can research things here for like shielding and armor and cool stuff like that. Right now there's not a whole lot of point in customizing. You can see here, Interceptor, starting ship class, all we've got, red lasers, small lasers, which you can see are on top of the ship. And they do move and fire, which is pretty cool. So at the moment, we don't really have anything we can customize in there because, well, we just don't have anything yet. So what we're going to actually do is I'm actually tool a couple more ships up for production because we are a military force, which means we need a military empire. You can change the names of your ships by clicking here, and you can just change the name of your ship. Legit. You can hire an admiral, which we probably should. Where your recruitment cost is less, evasion, combat speed. You have higher weapon range. Oh, Shen there. And now, these people can have their names changed too, I think. If you click on them, maybe. Yeah, so you can change their name too. So you can literally make anyone. So, like, we could rename this person Admiral Person. And there you go. Boom. Admiral Person is now in charge of my fleet. And you can rename the ships, which of course have their standard names of USS Minstrel stuff. We call this the USS Awesome. And now we have the USS Awesome in our fleet. And I think you can do that with just about anything. You can rename the strike force, so we call this the first strike force. I'm going to call this the first kill it with fire fleet, because, I don't know, we're making jokes here. Kill it with fire. I don't know if you can change it. You can change the name of the planets. I don't think you can change the name of the stations, because stations don't actually have names. Here's our science ship. We're going to put her on board. We're going to do this again. Task her with exploring all of our so lovely system. There's not really a faster way of doing this yet. There's a point where you can research automatic exploration, where the ship will just automatically explore everything in range, which is really nice, especially in this case, because obviously your range is quite small. It's kind of weird when you have warp and other sorts of travel, because then they can go literally anywhere, and you might have a science ship that ends up way over here somewhere doing some research, and you're like, I need you back, and it'll take like 153 years for them to get back or some bullshit. There's our little fleet. It's pretty pitiful at this point. Kind of sucks. It's weak. But we'll we can always repair that and upgrade that later with our research. Now, something I would advise is always get that here. Starting goals with this is, of course, to first make sure you have your ship exploring everything, because as they explore everything in the system, they'll uncover resource things on these planets that you can build at, and those places will basically let you put up little mining posts on these planets and on the moons and things like that, and that'll net you a lot more resources. Now, I will tell you, the most annoying resource you'll have is energy credits, because this is used by pretty much everything for maintenance purposes, and it will fluctuate a lot. So I would advise putting a lot of effort into energy credit income. Mineral income will just increase, and eventually you'll just have a lot of minerals. But basically, these two you want to put a lot of effort in. With food, I tend to just make sure all planets are fairly self-sufficient, but the game's not quite as picky about that kind of stuff. So here on the surface, you can see we can start clearing things like this for money. The first thing we're actually going to do is we're going to make sure everything... There's our capital. Yeah, so we're going to clear that one because that has a mineral, which we want. We're going to clear that one because it's got energy credits, which we want. And we're going to clear that one. It's the last one we can clear right now, which has food, which could come in handy. Now, you can say we do have slaves. You could set their rights if you want, which is... It's cool. There's a lot to this game. There's a heck of a ton to this game that you can do. So what I'm going to do now, though, is because this is sort of just the start. I mean, at this point, you'll know if you want to buy this game or not. But I'm going to do is, for the last couple minutes of the video, I'm just going to skip ahead, like, a couple hours of gameplay with this faction, and I will show you what you can get up to in a few hours of gameplay. Because I don't want this video to be like a million years long. It's already like 30 minutes long, and it's already a little too long, I think. So the next like few minutes, I'm just going to skip ahead. I'm going to show you what this could be like in a couple hours, how many factions you can find, things like that, and what generally the game looks like a few hours in. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so we've jumped ahead. I actually don't know how long we've jumped ahead. Hold on. Save. Autosave. Sometimes they tell you how far in you are. Here we go. Usually it tells you. I think you can see how far it is. But either way, we are approximately, from the point I saved when I left off with you guys, we've approximately gone 44 years in-game, which, it's back an hour, probably. The reason I've jumped in now is because, unfortunately, because I'm trying to play this as sort of a rather militaristic, kind of hostile, not particularly friendly empire, I've been declared war on by two factions, which are invading my territory as we speak. As you can see here, there's one of their big fleets that just came through and obliterated my wormhole station I had here, which is kind of this was kind of my my front-running base, where I was holding here to jump into this territory. I was going to go to war with these guys when I built up my fleet enough. Unfortunately, they went to war with me first. Well, not them. Somebody around here went to war with me first, and then they came in to help, I guess, because they were allies. And they've just took out my frontier station that I had there. So now I've sort of retreated back into my little bubble here. I've retreated back to Seoul, and I'm just kind of waiting it out as I attempt to rapidly build my fleet, which is not that shabby in terms of size, but unfortunately lacks the firepower to compete with the enemy fleet. Unfortunately, we lack quite a bit of firepower to fight them, which is really unfortunate. But we're trying. I'm trying to build up here. We're holding here because this has the assistance of this defense station, which of course can of course help me. As you can see, they've pushed forward because I lost my frontier station in that territory. So now they've pushed that back to me. Unfortunate, really. This is really, really bad. All things considered, this is really bad. And you can see their fleets have kind of left. Now, here's something I can show you if I can find it. I don't know where it is. It's in here somewhere. No, not there. Maybe it is in there. Or is it down here? There it is. The Vivendi Tari War. They're the people who declared war on me. These are the two space battles. So you basically can keep track of the entire war. I won one battle so far against these guys because they sent kind of a weak fleet against me, and I managed to scare it off because I was able to outfight them. Now here's how the war system works, basically. As you fight, you gain points. More battles you win and things like that. As you gain points, you push the war score towards them. When you get enough war score, you can basically offer white peace. Send a white peace offer to end this war as a tie. Relative navy strength -12, length of war -42. So basically the war hasn't been going on long enough for them to accept peace, and my navy is well outclassed by theirs. And then basically these are my demands. So if I win the war, they will cede these two planets to me, which are those two planets right there. And these are the planets they want me to cede. So basically they want me to cede all three of my main planets. So basically I must not lose this war because they want me to cede my 3 planets, which I won't do. So currently I'm just kind of hanging it out. We're pretty close. The only reason is I'm being double teamed, which is why my ass is getting kicked. All intents and purposes, my fleet power with the 2 people I'm fighting, I think this is the other person, are actually equivalent fleet powers. So we have about the same fleet power. The problem is that I'm fighting 2 people, not just 1. So because I'm fighting 2 people and not 1, my fleet is outgunned because they have their fleets together. So I'm slowly working on getting my fleet upgraded. I want to build some cruisers, but unfortunately they're 602 apiece, and I have to upgrade my space station. So I'm going to upgrade. I mean, either way, I'm upgrading the space station because this is the only way I'm going to hold Seoul against these guys. So you can see there's their fleet, and see they're traveling together is the problem. Their armadas are moving around together, which makes them very hard for me to kill because that's almost 3,000 in attack damage, and mine's only 1,300. So unfortunately, we are really outclassed in this fight, all things and purposes. So I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to win this fight. it's not looking pretty. It's not looking good. Let's say that it's not looking good. Probably gonna lose this battle. They're probably there to take out my frontier station, I would guess, or they're just grouping up. Yeah, they're just clearing out all my stuff basically. Yeah, thanks. Hi, bye. Now, I mean, there are diplomatic options, so you can, you know, I can't really do much because mostly everyone kind of doesn't like me, but I mean, you know, you can reach out to people. I don't have any alliances with anybody, so I'm pretty much boned in this situation. I'm pretty much on my own. Chances are I'm going to lose. It's a simple fact. I'm probably going to lose.
Mining station lost.
Yeah, they're slowly destroying all my infrastructure on my far out planets, which is unfortunate because it means I don't have much. I really want some cruisers because if I can get some cruisers, I might be able to turn the tide of this battle, this war, because cruisers count for a lot more tactical power than other ships.
Mining station lost.
But the problem is that I just don't have the money. I don't have the money to build them. I am barely at 300 right now, and they're just waltzing around my outside systems, killing me. It's bad. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you what could happen. Now, for the sake of this video, I am going to cheat. So anything following this anything following this point is not standard gameplay. This is console command cheating bullshit. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna just cheat minerals. We're gonna try and do the minimalistic cheating. Yeah, so you can cheat. These are console commands, by the way. You can do this in your game too if you want. So I basically just cheated myself the maximum resources I can store. So now basically I can just build the massive ass fleet. Now you can also cheat and get like infinite. You can also cheat and get like what's the word? What's my fleet even made of right now? 14 destroyers and that many corvettes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's get 20 corvettes. 14 of those is fine. How many cruisers did I queued? I queued 6. Let's crew one more cruiser. Okay, so well, that fleet will build, and then hopefully that fleet will be enough to kick their butts. But yeah, we'll see. Now again, this is of course console command cheating. This is not part of the game. Ideally, what I would have done was maintain friendly relations with these factions, kind of, you know, rolled with it until I had a significant fleet power to actually fight a war with them. But since I was kind of being rude and evil and kind of being mean to them, and not to mention my empire is technically a dictatorship, which they may not actually, they might frown upon that. Yeah, see, they're a constitutional dictatorship, which is interesting. I can reform my government, actually. You can reform your government at the cost of 250 points. So you can do that, and you can go in here, and you can legit change your whole government. Which is pretty cool. I mean, there are some things you can't. For instance, this, I have an authoritarian ethic, which is this over here. I'm authoritarian. So I can't become a democracy, but I could drop down to an oligarchy, or a dictatorship if I wanted to. But in case I'm more of an empire right now. So you can actually reform your government. You can actually add or change. Well, you can't. No, yeah, you can change those. You can change your civics and stuff. It's pretty cool. You can basically change what your government is now, but you can't change your ethics. So be careful. Your ethics are permanently permanent, so you can't really change them.
Frontier outpost lost.
Ideally, I probably should build these ships from other stations and not just all from here, because this is going to take too long if I build them all from here. Okay, let's build all of those from here, and I'm going to cancel that and build the 5 corvettes there. It's loading. You'll be aware that if you play at maximum speed, you will get a lot of random lag spikes, because there will be periods where the game will just kind of stops, because it's like, what's going on? It tries to figure stuff out. So you can see the Empire again, the enemy fleet has again vanished. I don't know where they went. They just disappeared again. Oh, there they are. Well, that's the transport fleet. Don't worry about that. That's how you assault planets.
Incoming transmission.
So, if I wanted to, I could start building a military army and stuff like that. Oh, their fleet's back. Where'd it come from? Oh, there it is. They're basically taking out my frontier outposts so that I can't push them back again, so that my territory collapses in, which means I have to go through and rebuild all of those outposts again. But at the moment, of course, as I said a second ago, we are not quite capable of fighting their fleets yet. But as you can see, our fleet is already beginning to be bigger. That is a cruiser right there. Ideally, I would have liked to have cruisers before this war started, because they're really the first true military, heavy military ships. Because you get destroyers and corvettes. Corvettes kind of suck as military ships. All things considered, they kind of suck. This is what my ships look like right now because I have minimal technology. Oh, we have shields, actually. I didn't see that. Oh, my goodness. I hate when it gives you that little... I hate when that little overlay pops up where it starts... it's like loading something. And it's a fine balance. You want to keep this positive. So you got to go through and make sure that that stays positive. And you can upgrade your ships. So what I would do is pick a design name at the very beginning before you build your ships, and then just save over it. That way you can always just upgrade the ships to whatever you change. That way you don't have to worry about...
incoming transmission.
Yeah, incoming transmission, your butt. I don't care. Like that. So now they have better shields, so, you know... Oh yeah, we're gonna get that fleet academy. So you know, our fleet is now up to 2,100 capability, and we've only got 2 of the 7 cruisers that I've requested be constructed. So that's a thing. We're gonna actually set that for upgrade because all those ships will need to be upgraded after all of these cruisers are built. So now we're just waiting, basically, for all of our cruisers to build. And these, as you can see, these are all done. Recruitment of armies has been completed on Earth. I'm currently recruiting full defense armies to make sure that we could defend the planet against any assault. Now we can recruit actual armies, which we are going to do. We're going to recruit a crap ton of actual armies. I don't know how many we just recruited.
Incoming.
Let's recruit 16 because I think 16 is the maximum a planet can actually have garrisons. So we're going to hold out on that. So what are we looking at? Where's the enemy fleet? Okay, they took out that. That's going to collapse in, more than likely. Yeah, boom. So you lost all that area. It sucks, but it's what, you know, it's what happens if they take out frontier posts, by the way. I didn't mention. Frontier outposts, which I don't think I have any left, are basically the stations you use to spread your border out without colonizing a planet. Colonizing a planet will also do it, but it's better to do a thing. So we're going to recruit a new admiral because ours just died because of reasons. I don't know. Now you can see here we have gone over our naval capacity, which means we're going to start losing money, basically. But that's okay. The war is about to begin, is what I'm about to say. We're about to go into quite a large-scale battle. So, I mean, you know, we're going to be going into one hell of a fight pretty soon here. We just need 3 cruisers to be built, and I think those 3 cruisers might put us just over the limit we need to fight their fleets. Ooh, maybe not. Their fleets are getting stronger. That's a problem. It's problematic because their fleets are getting so much stronger that it's like becoming a bit of an issue. I really want to fight them.
Construction complete. Construction
we may have to build more ships. I didn't want to build more ships. We're going to build additional attachments from these stations here. Oh, God. I hate when it does the little load thing. When you go to click on something, it's kind of the only flaw I find with this game, is that if it starts loading and the little, you know, the little, like, universe thing appears on your mouse and starts loading something or solar system, you can't click on anything, and it pisses me off. Oh, God. They're going for Alpha Centauri. Oh, God. They're in Alpha Centauri. Okay, what are we looking at? 2.2 thousand. Okay. They have cruisers now? Are those cruisers? No, those are destroyers. Okay, all they've got are destroyers and that, and then this. Yeah, you can see that's what they've got there. You see my station can hold back 1,000.2 on its own. Theoretically, the fleet should be able to fight this. If the fleet can get there in time, but you can see they've got some transport ships, so we're gonna hope that our fleet can get there in time. Get out of here. Where's our fleet? Our fleet is very slowly moving to the jump point. If our fleet can get there in time to support that, we'll be fine, but I don't think they're going to make it. No, we're going to lose Alpha Centauri. I don't think we're going to make it. Oh, dear. How close is my fleet to jump gate? There's no way we're going to make it. That's the only problem with this system, is that they're going to clearly make it there and obliterate that station before I can even get to it. So we're going to just cancel that, and we're just order our fleet to fall back to the Sol, back in orbit Earth until we can get it to a point where we can fight. Unfortunately, we're just not going to make it. We're just not going to make it to fight them, so we're just going to have to pull back because they're going to start fighting our station, which we can watch here. See, there's our station with its laser beams. It's opening fire. They might take a couple with them, but you can see those missiles are coming in. Our station's getting its ass handed to it. You know, we blew up the ship. Oh dear. Stations are really tanky, an FYI. Stations are really tanky. Spaceports, they're real tanks. And they can hold back a lot.
Situation log updated.
So you can see they lost like 5 ships taking that out. So you see, if my fleet had been there, we would have been able to defend that planet. So now they're probably going to start attacking here. Unfortunately, they're attacking our fortifications on the planet. So now we have a full 16 garrison army here, so it's all just a matter of can we hold. They're bombarding the planet right now. My fleet is not going to be able to take that on because that together is about 3,000.6, and we're at 2941. So we would probably lose that fight. Unfortunately, we would lose that fight. We would lose that in a straight-up fight, which sucks balls, but is the true fact. We would lose that in a straight-up fight. So we don't have much choice but to wait until we have more ships in our fleet. Hopefully they don't take Alpha Centauri. Oh, look, there's their forces landing. Oh.
Enemy troops landing.
Oh, they're landing. Oh, Jesus. Oh my god, their troops. Oh my god, their troops are like. What the fuck? Oh my god, their troops are like really good. That's lame as fuck. That is so lame. Their army is so much better than mine. We literally didn't do anything to it. That is so fucking lame. Okay. Now, note, they haven't actually taken it. They've occupied it. So technically they haven't won yet. But if I lose the war, I will lose Alpha Centauri. Or I can lose Alpha Centauri. So the goal here, of course, would be to retake Alpha Centauri before something happens. So we're going to, of course, make that our goal to retake it. We're building armies right now, so we don't really have a military or anything at the moment. I suppose I don't really need to build corvettes. They kind of suck. What I really need are more cruisers. They're the big guys, and a couple destroyers, like support ships. Because I've got a lot of little ships in this fleet already. The real thing is I need a lot of destroyers to back it up. But I think my fleet, yeah, they're upgrading right now. Our fleet is practically...
Ships upgraded.
Yeah, invasion is over. Whoa, what's going on here? So now they're going to Sirius. They're gonna take that out. And you can see their transport fleet's going home. Now our fleet is bigger, as you can see. We probably could take them now. We can probably just barely take that armada together, but we're gonna wait. We want to be significantly overpowering them. I know this video is really long, but I really want to. I'm trying to show off like the best parts of this mod, and this is like the fact of. This is just how it is. It's a very long, drawn-out kind of game. Yeah, they're taking out my... They're invading Sirius is what they're doing, yeah. Oh, dear. Go, fight them! You can do it!
Destroyed. Situation log update.
Okay, we're gonna have to... I think I can take them. It's all a matter of whether... Because the problem is if I don't want to cheat even more, which I don't, really, because I don't want to cheat too much, obviously, if I try and take them now and I can't actually take them, I will probably lose most of that fleet. But I'm going to have to try, because I don't want to lose another planet, because it's already... This video is already going to be too long. So we're going to send our fleet. We're sending our fleet out to try. Our fleet has been dispatched with orders to try and hold the Sirius sector. Theoretically, they're going to bombard the planet. As you can see, they're doing it right now. To try and prep the planet for a ground invasion. So our main fleet is going to dispatch the wormhole system, is going to get there and try, in vain more than likely, to stop them. As you can see, we're going through the wormhole generator. This is what it looks like, those of you who don't know. Yeah, this is a long game. It's hard to really just talk about it real quick. I want to give you a general idea of what you're looking at. And there we are. Oh, their fleet's weaker. Go get them. I think we can take them. I will slow game time down, by the way, when we engage. We can probably take these guys now.
Hostile fleet detected.
Save the Sirius sector. To battle for king and country. And we are now in battle. So here we are. Our admiral is actually better than theirs. Oh, whoops, we went too slow. Okay, this is normal speed. There's our cruisers up front there, which I don't think they even have cruisers yet. We have light shielding on most of our ships, and as you can see, we have massive amounts of laser cannons. I think they have lasers too, but I'm not sure. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to shield our ships from their missiles, but that's okay. We have shielding, which will help us. So this is a full... We're in a middle... Alright, so we're fighting now. The battle appears to be leaning in their favor, probably because all those missiles hit up front, which did some damage. But now the main bulk of our fleet's laser capacity is being brought to bear, so theoretically this battle should be kind of double-sided. It should be a very kind of even fight. It's supposed to be. According to all the statistics, it's supposed to be an even fight. And as you can see, you've got these two factions, they're fighting. Our fleet's going to take a massive battering from this. We're going to take some pretty nasty hits, because this is a really, really even fight. Okay, looks like... Is that a cruiser? I don't think they have any cruisers, but I can't tell. It looks like they have all destroyers and corvettes, which gives us a minor advantage. Independence guaranteed. Somebody, okay. You can see our ship's taking him. You can see here we are winning in terms of hull points and stuff. The attacker hull points. Oh, they retreated. We won. The enemy fleet bugged out, basically. They just retreated. So essentially we won that engagement. As you can see, of course, I've crippled my economy because I'm cheating. So by crippling my economy, oops. I'm essentially cheating, so of course my economy isn't enjoying it. I would not, I mean, obviously I would advise playing this game legitimately. If I was, to be honest, what the hell? Somebody here. Oh, hello. Hey, what are you guys doing way at the far edge of the system? Interesting. That was random. Oh, one thing I didn't mention. You can actually do research. So you can take science ships and you can research. I don't have a leader on this for some reason. You can actually send your scientists to research stuff, and it actually helps your overall research. Oh, those are ships coming in to join the fleet, right? Because I was building more ships. You can research things to increase your research. Like, even if you lose battles, like an Alpha Centauri lost that battle and things, you can actually gain research and things and stuff like that, which is really cool. We're going to send that guy out there to try and build a frontier outpost there. Alpha Centauri is still occupied, which means we'll have to send a ground force to take them, which we are currently building our ground force here. It's going to take some time, but we are in the process of building our military power, which we're going to tie Shizu or whatever is going to be our military leader there. We're sending the main force back to the Sol system for now. The Sirius sector has been defended. And the last thing I'm going to show you is invading a planet and taking back Centauri. Now, in most cases, I probably would have just, what kind of defenses they still got on that planet anyways? How many people? There doesn't appear to be anyone. I doubt that, but that's okay. We'll send our Also, bombardment can kill civilians, so that's why you don't always want to do full bombardment, because it will kill your people. We're going to send our fleet to blockade the planet and prep for our ground invasion, which is our transport fleet there. Also, might actually find out how many people are on the planet. I'm sorry this video is almost an hour long. Holy crap! But that's just how this game is. It's really a drawn out game, which is why I said at the beginning that I already think this game is totally worth buying, and that way you wouldn't have to watch the whole video. But this is basically me playing it for first like 20 minutes of the game to now a couple hours in. In most cases, I probably would have restarted, to be honest. At this point, I would have restarted because that whole fleet battle, I would have had to cheat to win, and I don't really like cheating in this game. I like that feeling of winning things legit, but you do kind of have to play very friendly at first to win legitimately. You can't just be an ass to everybody at all times. So we're gonna see what's here. It's controlled by them right now, but they might not have left any troops to defend it. Oh, actually, we can see how the war looks. So you can see they're still got a massive score boost on me because we lost Alpha Centauri. So that's a massive loss. Now you can see here in the Sirius sector, I won a massive space battle, which of course is good for me. Armies. Doesn't appear to really be any armies. So we're just going to dispatch the transport fleet to enter orbit, and then they're going to invade the planet. Currently, we are bombarding the planet to destroy our planetary fortifications. Ironically, fortifications that we probably built. And, potential army. Tari Military 3. So, potentially there's 3, but of course, technically, I mean, it's ironic. Those are technically my people. So, I don't really know how that makes any sense, but wait. We'll speed time back up. Wait for our transport fleet to get here, and then we will invade, take Alpha Centauri back, and we will force a white peace neutral ending to the war. Which basically means neither side really got anything out of the war, is what that basically means. It just ended on a tie, because it was so bland of a battle that it just ends on a tie. Bombarding the planet, bombarding the planet. There might not even be anyone down there. We could just be bombarding nothing. Okay, cease bombardment. You guys
Debris analyzed.
land.
Incoming transmission.
Land our armies. So there's our armies. And the way, oh, there we go. We're fighting. Yeah, we defeated.
Enemy
Boom.
secured.
And we have now retaken Alpha Centauri. As you can see, our assault armies are now in the defensive army position, which we don't really want that. So I'm going to embark all of them and just build new defensive armies to replace all the ground forces, basically. And now, if we look here, their massive advantage has been removed because they're not winning anymore. Now you see, we're slightly winning, which means we could almost negotiate for peace. The length of the war is still a little bit long, and our naval score is not quite high enough for them to surrender just yet. Unfortunately. Oh, hello. Commonwealth of Man. Random people offering me trading agreements. That's nice. But anyways, so you can see their armies and navies have retreated because they're like, oh my god, these guys kicked our ass, we better get out of here, and they fled. So, you know, that's the thing. So, we're building a station here. Now, I can attack Vivis, and that's it with my fleet. So we're going to send our fleet there, but actually no, I'm just going to send the fleet home because I said I was going to end the video because the video is like an hour long and it's too long for a spotlight. Hopefully they won't be this long in the future, but this is an RTS 4X game, and these kind of games take a long time, and this is really, at this point you will have decided if you wanted to buy it. You didn't have to watch it to the end. This is just me, you know. Oh, there, I've been offered, they offered to join a Federation offer, all these Federation offers going through, but anyways, so that is Stellaris, and that's not even all the factions that are there in the game. So basically, if you really like what you saw, I would go buy this game. $12, totally worth it. The game gets pretty in-depth, and there are more than one way to win. the battles in the game, because you don't have to go to war with everyone. You can get into really big federations with people. In one game, I had an empire that stretched much bigger than this, and I was like in federations with like all the people around me. But I think that was when the game was a little broken and people wouldn't declare war, so I kind of got stuck in a game of pure peace, because there was just no way the war would ever start. But yeah, so sorry the video was like, you know, an hour and a half long or whatever the fuck it was. And yeah, so go check it out. This game is $12 currently on a Humble Monthly. I think it's a great deal. This game is totally worth $12 for anyone who likes these kinds of games. So thanks for watching, guys. Like and share the video if this helped you out, or if you liked the video, and I'll see you later. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching my video. If you really liked it, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, hitting that nice little button in the center there. And if you'd like to support the channel, make sure to hit up the Patreon link in the description below. Follow me on Twitter for all future updates. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.